Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I have my OnShape drawing done here that I want to cut out on the laser cutter. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to take this and get it ready for the laser cutter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the sketch back up as though you would see it on the in your on your computer. And so now let's say I'm all done with my sketch and I've got all the dimensions on here. And then I'm going to just finish that sketch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to export that as a DXF. So I just right click on the sketch one and I'm going to export as a DXF. I'm going to call that laser test. And then I'm just going to click on this export button. Everything else can be the same as the defaults. I'm just going to export that. Now this file will go into your downloads folder on your Chromebook. And you'll have to find it there, and then you're going to transfer it over to the USB drive that it will be at your table. So from the downloads, I'm going to take that file I just created, laser test, and I'm going to drag it onto, or I'm going to scroll down so I can drag it onto this flash drive here. So I put it onto that flash drive, and I can double check, make sure it's there, laser test. All right, we're good. So now what I have to do is I have to open up the laser software. So I'm going to close that for right now. And this is where you're going to take your USB drive and you're going to transfer it over to one of the PCs in the classroom. You're going to open up this software right here called RDWorks or LaserWorks. This might not be the logo that's on here. It might just be a red and black rectangle. So that's what you're looking for. It might look something like this one. This is what I'm going to use for right now. So when I open this, if you get something like this, you just can click OK. Then from here, I want to import that image from the flash drive. So I'm going to use this button right here to import that image. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to take the DXF file I just created, and I'm going to open that up. Now, what I want to do is I want to take this image, and I want to put it up in the corner. So I can just click this button, but what you'll see is that it moves it up in the corner. If by chance it moves it up, sometimes it does this weirdly and it moves it up there, just deselect everything, reselect it, and then press the button again and it'll move it into the proper spot. So now what I have to do is I have to adjust the settings for the laser cutter in this software. So what I want to do is I want to change this. This usually starts at a default of 30% power, so I want to change that to 90. So I just double click in there and can type in 90. I want to change this one to 90 as well. So I'm double clicking there and click 90. And then change this to 12. Now these are the settings that we use when we're cutting through 1/8-inch wood that we're going to be putting into the laser cutter as our medium to cut on. Those settings are going to be different if we were cutting on cardboard or if we were cutting on acrylic. So those settings might change depending on what you're cutting on. But for this particular example, we're going to be cutting on wood. So that's what we're going to do. The next thing I have to do is I have to make sure that as I'm looking at this, I want to make sure that I'm cutting things in the right order. Because if I cut this outer thing out first, that would drop down a little bit. And then if I tried to cut this triangle out of the middle, it might not cut that properly. So what I have to do then is I have to click this where I'm going to say Edit Cut Property. And what I want to do is I just want to check the order of the things that it says it's going to cut. So when I click on element 1 that it's going to cut, it's saying it's cutting the inside portion first. Well, that's good. That's what I want to cut first. And then element 2 would be this outer shape. If those are in the wrong order, you can, if you want to try to figure out how to change the order, you can. It's really simple. Or you can just ask Mr. Fisher or I for help. All right, then I'm going to click OK because that was the right order. And the last thing I need to do is I just need to save this to a U file. And what we want to do is we want to just click this button right here. We're going to give it another name. Now this time it's not a DXF file that we're saving. This is going to be a .rd. We just want to verify that that says RD. If you just try to click this button or file save, it will not do this correctly. You have to save it as a U file. This is the type of file that the laser cutter reads. And so this is what we're looking for right here. And as I click save, I put that onto the flash drive. And again, just double check when you do this that you're saving to the flash drive, not onto your hard drive. Otherwise, it won't show up when we plug it into the laser cutter. So I've saved that in the right spot. I will now be ready to take that flash drive and transfer it over to the laser cutter and make the cut. And that's all there is to it.